This is the Pocket Monster Manual. I'm Wooly Shambler, here with MD.
Hello.
Raisin Bran.
I spin.
Shiny.
And
And Speckcross.
plié.
We're talking about Kirlia.
Let it rip.
Plié, relevé.
The thing I remember most about Kirlia is its animations from the 3D Gen 3 games, where it's like always dancing and shit, and when you like hit it, it does like this super dramatic pirouette, and then like leans back with one leg in the air, and then like jumps back at you.
I remember that
remember
exact
that.
It's pretty funny.
animation. That's a good one.
It's so good.
I still don't hate the design for this, I think. It's getting dangerously close to Anthro, but I think I can deal with this.
The beginning of the end.
Yeah.
It's said that a Kirlia that is exposed to the positive emotions of its trainer grows beautiful.
Yeah, and the ones that are around really angry or depressed trainers just get acne.
Real
and
fucking
they get
ugly
really
B-words.
bad acne scarring, and like their whole face just drops off.
Crooked back.
Yeah, they grow a hump.
One leg longer than the other.
I want that Kirlia.
I'd be okay with this.
All the green parts look like shriveled onions, Celebi. I can see into the future.
Yeah, it's a psychic Pokemon.
A Kirlia has the psychic power to create a rip in the dimensions and see into the future. It is said to dance with pleasure on sunny mornings.
Why are those two sentences? That's like when Britney Spears. Oh, I gotta find that tweet now. I don't remember. Oh, does anyone think global warming is a good thing? I love Lady Gaga. I think she's a really interesting artist. That's got the same kind of energy.
As opposed to like Satu. Satu sees into the future and it's always standing still because it's really scared of what it's seeing in the future. But Kirlia is happy about it.
Kirlia just either sees good things or doesn't care.
Kirlia revels in
It like
it.
opens it, sees COVID, and it just does a pirouette.
Like, fuck yeah.
Doesn't even tell anybody.
So apparently, when it's using its powers as well, it makes mirages of non-existent scenery. So like it'll dance around and just make a forest appear and stuff. It'd mesh really well with Stantler. Like you could have a herd of Stantlers that don't exist in a forest.
We don't refer to him as Standler anymore, Specs. He's Hypmusis.
Well, actually, you haven't paid me for use of that word, so we should probably stick with Stantler.
It's just a fucking little green lady, innit?
It's a ballerina.
It's just a little kid. Again.
I don't ever know how to feel about the Pokemon that are just based on humans, period. Like, there's not really...
I was having a think about this earlier. When is it to Anthro, I guess is my question. Now, Gen 1 had some Anthro Pokemon. We had
Jinx.
Hitmonchan,
Mr. Mime.
Jinx, Daddy, Machamp, Machoke, them. Now, none of them are really proportioned like humans. I think that's the distinction.
they are.
So, like,
Machoke is.
Machoke 100% is, but it's got a reptile face.
Machoke is basically a gym rat.
Yeah, he literally has a fucking Speedo on, too. Like,
it's true, but like, I'm not uncomfortable around Machoke the same way I am with some of the later ones. Like, Blaziken's uncomfortable, Gardevoir's uncomfortable. Like, everything past third gen Anthro gets a bit too much for some reason for me, and I'm trying to pinpoint why.
I don't have an issue with Blaziken.
Is it the face? Is it Machoke's like lizard face that makes it more acceptable?
Maybe it comes down to the fact that you're commanding things to like battle each other to the quote unquote death. And the more it looks like a human, the more it kind of feels like you're controlling it against its will.
I think it may be partially due to like when you were introduced to it as well.
Probably.
Because with first gen, you saw it as a child, you didn't have this weird association of people like over-sexualizing the anthropomorphized ones.
Yeah.
So you just saw them as like a thing that stands on two legs, but it's still a Pokemon. Whereas the later ones, you see them, they look kind of humanoid, and you know that people are making porn of them. So it makes you uncomfortable.
Yeah, and I mean, the thing with Gardevoir especially is, like, that is supposed to be an attractive woman, but it's a Pokemon. Like, clearly it is designed to be an attractive woman, right? Whereas Jinx wasn't. Jinx was designed to be a weird-looking woman, and Mr. Mime wasn't designed to be sexy. And
He wasn't?
Death of the author.
I don't know if Blaziken's designed to be sexy, but it gets that kind of label, right?
I don't really see people talk about Blaziken in the same light as the others.
No.
Me neither.
I think Blaziken makes me uncomfortable because that's not the shape that chickens are meant to be.
But again, I'm okay with Kirlia because it looks like a child. I'm not okay with Gardevoir because it looks like a woman. So the distinction is definitely something of like kind of a sort of sexual nature, I guess. It's like okay, now it's fuckable, that's bad. How do you guys feel about I'm kind of against Anthro Pokemon in many places, but
I don't really mind them, like, without the context of everything around them. Like,
Yeah.
I look at Gardevoir and I think that looks like a cool Pokemon. But then I look at, like, let's take Lopunny as an example. Isolated from, like, everything outside of it, I'd be like, holy shit, it's a cool, like, bunny thing. I'd really like it. But then knowing everything else around it, I don't fucking like it because I know what people will do with it. I hate the mega evolution of Lopunny as well because that is just inherently sexual. It's got like the fucking ripped tights look. It's like, why? Why?
That's what I was gonna say. Is that like I agree for the most part, but Lopunny like goes over that line.
Mega goes over.
I don't have a big problem with Anthro Pokemon for the most part. Something that kind of weirds me out is like when they're like wearing like clothes. That kind of weirds me out. Like throwing sock is like, where did you get this gi? Is it part of your body?
Yeah, it's part of the
or
body.
Or did you like?
It is.
It's weird.
It is. It's the same as Machoke's pants.
I don't like Machoke either for that same reason.
I don't mind them wearing clothes, but I don't like clothes that are supposed to be part of the body. That's bullshit.
well, Jinx's dress is part of his body, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Flesh body.
That's how I feel about Kirlia's little skirt. Like,
Skin. It's skin. It's meat.
ew, little flesh tendrils.
Almost every time, if I consider a Pokemon to be sexualized, it's because I've seen other people do it online.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Gardevoir definitely,
Yeah.
and Lopunny too.
Oh, of course.
But like back when we talk about Nidoqueen, MD was really uncomfortable because you were aware of Nidoqueen's reputation as a
Oh, absolutely.
sex symbol. But I'd never seen that, so
I haven't seen any
I
of that.
wasn't aware.
Yeah, I'd never heard of that
No, I
before,
hadn't heard
actually,
of
yeah.
it.
Welcome to the internet, I guess.
I'm sure it exists. I mean, it exists for probably every single Pokemon out there. But
Yeah, I'm just saying I didn't know about it before
Yeah,
we did
it's
this
not
show.
something that I was ever exposed to.
So actually, the problem with Anthro Pokemon is probably that people on the internet have sexualized it, and therefore I have a revulsion
Yeah.
to it, rather than
Yeah.
it actually inherently being a sexual
Yeah.
thing that the Pokemon company are trying to make.
And we're all terminally online, so we're aware of it.
Yeah.